Let's turn to our top political story tonight, and it is the Aam Aadmi Party versus Narendra Modi like never before. The AAP has lashed out today at the centre for allowing a Pakistan probe team to enter India to investigate the Pathankot attacks. Arvind Kejriwal launching a no-holds-barred attack against Prime Minister Modi. Going a step further was his minister, Kapil Mishra, who called the PM an ISI agent. The BJP says that political discourse has now hit a new low.
The political discourse over the Pakistan probe team's visit to Pathankot hit a new low on Tuesday. The Aam Aadmi Party has been rather vocal over their opposition to the government's move, and with reports of the Pakistan Joint Investigation Team dismissing India's proof as vicious propaganda, Chief Minister Kejriwal and one of his ministers beefed up their most vicious attack.
भारत के इतिहास में पहले प्रधानमंत्री हैं जिन्होंने इस तरह से आईएसआई को क्लीन चिट दी है कि आईएसआई किसी भी हमले का दोषी नहीं है.
Kejriwal lashed out at the Prime Minister, accusing him of surrendering to Pakistan.
भारत और पाकिस्तान के रिश्तों के बीच में भारत बड़ी मजबूती के साथ खड़ा हुआ था. दोनों के बीच में हम मजबूत होते थे. आज वो क्या मजबूरी हो गई कि हम घुटने टेक के खड़े हो गए.
And adding the biggest piece of fuel to the fire was Aam Aadmi Party Minister Kapil Mishra, who called the Prime Minister an ISI agent on Twitter.
Do we have an ISI agent as Prime Minister now? It's very serious the way PM is surrendering to anti-India forces.
While many deemed the statement unsavory and offensive, Kejriwal backed his minister to the hilt.
सबकी भावनाएं भड़क रही है. देखिए अब आप उसमें जाएंगे, भाषा खराब थी, भाषा खराब थी. अरे देश बिक रहा है. आप उस छोटी सी चीज को छोड़िए, देश बिक रहा है, देश खत्म हो रहा है.
The BJP has refused to let the Aam Aadmi Party get away with this frontal attack on the Prime Minister.
He doesn't have a track record of anything substantive that he has done. This is just another media garnering exercise.
Well, this isn't the first time, however, that the Aam Aadmi Party or Chief Minister Kejriwal, for that matter, have lashed out at the Prime Minister in such venomous language. But many question if the Aam Aadmi Party may have stooped a bit too low this time to rise with a strong defence. Bureau Report, India Today.
Joining me now on my first big question, has the political discourse hit a new low? GVL Narasimha Rao is the national spokesperson of the BJP. Ashutosh is the spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Dr. Ajoy Kumar is the spokesperson of the Congress. Let me get it very clear, Ashutosh. For your minister to suggest, is the Prime Minister an ISI agent? Is this the kind of language, even if it is on Twitter, where we know that people tend to make these kind of outrageous comments, should it be said by a responsible person in public life to suggest that the Prime Minister is hand in glove with Nawaz Sharif, or that the Prime Minister is an ISI agent? Ashutosh?
Yeah.
Ashutosh, are you getting the audio?
I can't hear you, Rajdeep.
We will try. It's interesting that you can't hear me, because till a moment you were able to listen to me. I will try and get you back in a moment. But GVL Narasimha Rao, the BJP for its part in the past has also targeted Arvind Kejriwal in no uncertain terms. You called him AK-47, or the Prime Minister himself called him AK-47 when he was campaigning in Jammu. How do you respond to today when the Aam Aadmi Party now calls the Prime Minister an ISI agent?
I think in a way they have proved him right, because they are firing very indiscreetly, without maintaining a basic degree of decorum.
No, but when the Prime Minister called Mr. Kejriwal AK-47, where was the decorum then? When the Prime Minister said that Shashi Tharoor's girlfriend is a 50 crore girlfriend, or called his wife Sunanda Tharoor, where was the decorum then? So this is all.
I think the two are, Rajdeep, the two are certainly not at the same level.
Why?
So the comparison is insidious. Secondly, when it was made as a part of an election campaign, when Kejriwal was not holding any position. To make a statement against a sitting prime minister shows immaturity of a party, imbecility of a party, and it shows how juvenile they are. They have still not grown up. They know maturity, and maturity, diplomacy demands maturity, and AAP has that in a huge shortage. I think they have only demonstrated their juvenility.
Let Ashutosh respond to what you're saying. Ashutosh, immaturity is the word being used on the question that you could not hear. Let me repeat it. Do you believe that a minister in a government should be calling the Prime Minister of the centre an ISI agent?
Rajdeep, there is a bigger question here. The bigger question is they are calling us immature, our immaturity. I think they've forgotten what Washington Post has written about Arvind Kejriwal and his government, what Fortune has written about Arvind Kejriwal on the odd and even. So if they are implying that we know nothing, I think it's let it forget.
No, but the
What is
language,
the bigger issue here?
we can discuss what Fortune and what Washington Post is. The language used by Kapil Mishra, the language used by Mr. Kejriwal today singling out the Prime Minister, particularly Mr. Kapil Mishra, using Twitter to say, is he an ISI agent? Is this the language that befits a minister in the government?
I'm glad, Rajdeep, that you are raising these issues. Which Prime Minister from Jawaharlal Nehru till Manmohan Singh has used the kind of, I'm using the word filthy language by the Prime Minister office? He has called Arvind Kejriwal Naxali. He has called Arvind Kejriwal AK-49. He has called Arvind Kejriwal Badnasib Wala. He has called Sonia Gandhi names and names and names and names. And now what their cabinet ministers are saying, what Giriraj Singh has said, do you remember all that? What Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya has been saying about Kanhaiya, the जबान काट के फेंक देनी चाहिए. बीजेपी के इनके नेता कहते हैं कि कन्हैया की जो गर्दन को है वो जवाहरलाल नेहरू विश्वविद्यालय के बाहर टांग देना चाहिए. Have you remember what Madhu Mishra has said yesterday only in Uttar Pradesh? So we don't want to learn the semantics and the language what the BJP and RSS wanted to tell us. First of all, the Prime Minister of India has to be sent to some decent school where he should be taught about the good language, and then he should expect that others should behave accordingly.
I think you should
so first of all, if
you
let me also tell you, if somebody calling him, if you calling somebody
advice to anybody,
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, I did not.
No, please don't interrupt. I don't want anyone to interrupt. I will come to you, GVL. GVL, I will come to you.
We know what kind of a filthy material you are made of. You are referring to a Prime Minister of the country. However filthy you are.
No, 1 minute. GVL, I will let you respond. GVL, I will respond. Let you respond. I assure you, I will let you respond. GVL, I will not allow crosstalk. I will not allow crosstalk, but I will let you respond. But for Ashutosh,
Mr. GVL,
even if the Prime Minister used language against Arvind Kejriwal, that does not justify Kapil Mishra using the language today. Let's be clear. By using this kind of vocabulary, the only people laughing today are the Pakistanis.
Rajdeep, do not use this language that Pakistanis are laughing. The whole world is laughing at India, that for the last 30-40 years, what we were saying, for every drop of blood by terrorism, we have blamed ISI. We have blamed, why blamed ISI?
You are
acting as
will you please be shut up?
Will you please be shut up? You please be shut up.
I am saying you are speaking the language of Hafiz Saeed.
You please
let's not say shut up and all. Sir, Ashutosh, let's not say shut up. I will handle Mr. Narasimha Rao. My producer, for a moment, GVL, I am keeping your mic off till Ashutosh has finished, and I will come to you. Finish, Ashutosh, and then I am going to GVL. Finish what you have to say in 30 seconds. Is it not true that what you have said will be used by Pakistan to its advantage?
No, don't give me this bogey of Pakistan. Today, the whole world is laughing at us, and the those who are laughing is ISI. In the 40 years, we had every drop of blood shed by Indian soldiers and by Indian citizens. We have blamed ISI for that. And today, ISI has been given a certificate of honesty and integrity and credence that you please come and investigate and tell us who has done Pathankot. That means ISI has not done it. That means done it. So if I like to think that if this was done by let Rajdeep, let me Rajdeep, 30 seconds. In Sharmal Sheikh, I remember when Manmohan Singh has said that terrorism and talk should not be linked, do you remember what happened? What havoc the BJP has created? Today, RSS in the BJP is silent. And Manmohan and Narendra Modi has given a certificate of character to the ISI.
Ashutosh, you made your point, and this is no. Ashutosh, you made your point, and this point could be made politically by the Aam Aadmi Party without the name calling. My problem is with the name calling, but GVL Narasimha Rao. You see, the part of the problem seems to be that the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet have used similar language against their critics. Let's be clear. If Arvind Kejriwal has called the Prime Minister a psychopath, or Arvind Kejriwal today questions the Prime Minister's integrity on Pathankot, look at the language the Prime Minister has used against Arvind Kejriwal. Is he allowed to call Arvind a Naxali or Arvind Kejriwal AK-49? Is that okay? Is the Prime Minister allowed to use the kind of language he has used against the Gandhi family in the past?
I hope you will allow.
Yes, go ahead.
I hope you will allow me to make my point.
Yes, I will.
And I'm not being muted when I say this.
Yes.
I think you have to, as a journalist, I'm sure you know how to make a distinction between making attacks against political rivals in political speeches, and Kejriwal was not holding any office when these political speeches were made. That is still no
excuse for the language.
Today,
whether it is...
no.
Is
please,
that an excuse?
Please let me complete.
Yes.
Today, Mr. Narendra Modi does not represent himself. He's not just a BJP leader. He is the Prime Minister of this country. Of this, you are insulting more than 1 billion people of this country by making these immature comments. You are actually speaking like the spokesperson of Hafiz Saeed. When you go by the media plants in Pakistan, you give credence to such observations, you are actually acting at the behest of people like Hafiz Saeed.
Okay.
I think this is highly regrettable, and if you allow these kind of filthy people talking filthy language against the Prime Minister, people will teach them a lesson.
One minute. I have a third person. Ashutosh, please hold on.
Be shut up.
Ashutosh, please.
Rajdev,
no,
you can't call me filthy.
You stop
No,
filthy mouth.
He cannot be allowed to call me
Stop
filthy.
being filthy.
He cannot be allowed to call me filthy.
He's not saying.
You better be shut up. I can teach you. I can teach you lessons in civility and
Sir, I request both of you to maintain civility. I request both of you. to maintain civility. I will switch both of the mics and come to you, Ajay Kumar. Ajay Kumar, you know, the Congress is interestingly caught in this battle between AAP and BJP. Where do you stand on this entire? This all has emanated out of what happened in Pathankot. The fact that the Prime Minister of the Government of India allowed a Pakistani team to go to the site. Do you believe that was the right decision, and should that become the subject of a political debate rather than making it about name calling? Surely on such sensitive matters, we need greater consensus rather than this kind of public squabbling.
You know, Rajdeep, first of all, definitely what Aam Aadmi Party said against the Prime Minister is to be condemned. I don't think this kind of language should be used against any political opponent. But the Bharatiya Janata Party and it's the language they use on the Twitter and the way the Prime Minister and the ministers have reduced the discourse. I mean, the Prime Minister and all his ministers and GVL Narasimha Rao ji cannot, claim innocence, because the kind of political dialogue of the lowest level, whether it's the RSS, the kind of photoshopping from Gujarat photos to the Myanmar, Muzaffarnagar, to everything, and then they claim innocence. In fact, the biggest bully in the Twitter world is invited by the Prime Minister. So the level of discourse, I mean, saying one is claiming that I'm abusing your mother, the other is claiming I'm abusing your sister, and saying since I abused I abused your mother, you are worse than me. This kind of nonsense has to stop.
No, this kind of I take your point. I take your point. Let me take that further. GVL Narasimha Rao, the quality of political discourse is set by the Prime Minister of the country. If the Prime Minister maintains a certain level of high political discourse, that can set a precedent for the rest. There is a point in what Ajay Kumar says. Have you seen the kind of Twitter followers of this Prime Minister and the manner in which those Twitter followers abuse anyone who criticizes the Prime Minister? Do you believe that the Prime Minister should be following such people, should be actually meeting such people, should be endorsing such views? Isn't the Prime Minister also partly culpable of not setting the highest standards of political discourse?
I think not in the least. I think show me one
Rajdeep.
statement.
Shashi
by
Tharoor,
any top media
Shashi
minister.
Sudhakar Tharoor was called a
No,
50
Shashi
crore
Tharoor.
girlfriend.
Shashi
The Prime
Tharoor
Minister did not
represents the
apologize for
party.
that. The
BJP
Prime Minister
waste
went
the
just
Prime
now to
Minister.
Assam
BJP
and has called
people.
Tarun Gogoi an 80-year-old man
Rajdeep.
who is
Rao
half.
Saab, your BJP trolls have abused me.
Let me.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
let me have my say.
No, Ajay Kumar, let Ajay Kumar,
Rajdeep.
please let GVL Narasimha Rao speak. Yes, Mr. Narasimha Rao.
Rajdeep, you please tell me any one of us who are office bearers in the party who are abusing any of our political rivals on Twitter or social media. Tell me any minister, anyone does it. But you see, social
My
media
God.
is a democratic medium.
How many you want?
Everyone there
How
has
many
a
you want?
voice. I think we-
Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao,
Please let me.
Mr. GVL
please.
Narasimha Rao, how many
Prime
names?
Minister
How
himself
many names?
has stated on number of
Please
occasions.
do some homework.
Prime Minister has stated on number of occasions. Social media should not be used for negative purposes. He has urged people. He is a victim of it more than anyone else. I think all the hate messages are reserved for him on Twitter.
Okay.
Do you think
Don't
we are
do me
only
tonic
praised
for
on
humor.
social media?
No,
We
okay.
have Congress.
Narasimha
We have
Rao,
Congress.
Narasimha
and the
Rao
Aam
ji,
Aadmi Party
Narasimha Rao ji,
people
just hold
stalking
on.
us all the time.
Sir, I take your point, but Ashutosh, let us assume for a moment that the Prime Minister also needs to do some course
Rajdeep.
correction. 1 minute. What about the Aam Aadmi Party? A few months ago, Arvind Kejriwal calls the Prime Minister a psychopath. Why? Because a CBI raid takes place at his office. Today, Arvind Kejriwal is suggesting the Prime Minister is either an ISI agent or hand in glove with Nawaz Sharif. My point is that what is the need for this name calling? Is it simply to get publicity, to get the headlines? Should there not be on one hand, Arvind Kejriwal tweets saying, I want to reach out to the Prime Minister, I hope we can have a cooperative relationship, and then you use this kind of language. How can the Aam Aadmi expect cooperation then from the government?
No, Rajdeep, do you think that only the Prime Minister of this country should be allowed to abuse anybody left, right and center, and then the excuse is given that he was using those language in the election? Tell me which Prime Minister has used such kind of a low language in his, even during the electionary? I am asking you. And then their own ministers, what kind of language they are using? Have you heard Mr. Kailash Vijayavargiya? He's the General Secretary of the party and the minister. What he's saying? Ki jaban kaat ke phek dunga main. Is this a language? What Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao is talking about?
No, I take your point. No, I take your point that the language across. We've had General VK Singh. Just a minute. We've had General VK Singh calling us prostitutes. We've had a minister in the government calling journalists prostitutes.
Rajdeep.
The Prime Minister calls us news traders. The fact is, this entire
Rajdeep.
political discourse is being vitiated. I am asking, is it not possible for Ashutosh and
Rajdeep.
GVL Narasimha Rao to have a civilized dialogue
Rajdeep.
with Ajay Kumar also in the middle? Is it not possible, Ashutosh, to have a
Rajdeep.
civilized dialogue?
Rajdeep.
Rajdeep,
Rajdeep.
I am
I'll
all
come
for
to
the
Ajay.
civilized.
Rajdeep.
I am all for the civilized language. Ajay, let me speak.
Yes.
I am all for the civilized debate and the discussion. What should be the debate and discussion? The Prime Minister of India, if he invites ISI and gives him a certificate of character, why your blood should not boil and
No,
why
he has
my
not
blood
given
should
them a
not boil?
certificate
Do
of
you
character.
think that
He has
all the
not given them a
soldiers were
character
martyred?
certificate.
No.
He has not
He has
given
given
it.
Rajdeep.
Is this?
Rajdeep, he has called ISI.
No,
He has
are you
called
playing
ISI
the
to come and
politics of
investigate
Punjab?
Pathankot and
Are
tell
you
to the
playing
whole world.
Punjab politics? Is this
No, no.
about embarrassing the Prime Minister
It's not
because
Punjab
elections
politics.
are in Punjab? You are
Rajdeep.
playing the Pathankot card. Isn't that the truth, Ashutosh?
Rajdeep, are you not embarrassed today that ISI is coming and investigating Pathankot, which ISI himself has done and created, and every blood which has been drawn by
I would
Indian
be embarrassed if the
soldiers is
ISI
linked
went
the
back to
ISI's
Pakistan and
vengeance
gave a
and
clean
offensive.
chit. 1 minute. I would be embarrassed if Pakistan team went back to Pakistan and then gave a clean chit to the terror groups. So far they have not
So
done
what-
that.
what we-
Should they give that clean chit? Then you can say what you want. But even so, why the name calling? My problem is you have every right to fight a political battle. You can
Rajdeep,
do it
Ajay,
without
tell-
name calling.
Acha Rajdeep, let me say one thing. If it makes the GVL Narasimha Rao happy, if it makes you happy, if it makes the Prime Minister of India happy, let me call Prime Minister the lotus, the rose, all the good flowers in the world. Will it make them happy? Can they have a
Okay.
decent discussion on other issues? And can the GVL Narasimha Rao promise today that not a word of filthy language will be used by the Prime Minister and all the ministers?
Okay,
Can
I'll ask
he
him
promise
that. Let
If
me
he
end this
promise
debate by getting that commitment. let me end this debate by getting that commitment from GVL Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao,
No.
I am presuming that
let me
Ashutosh
first
is
counter.
committing.
Let me respond to what he says. Please
just a
tell
minute.
me. No. I think I won't be. I will not. No.
Rajdeep.
Please allow me to make my point.
Yes,
I
make your
think what
point.
is the
GVL.
provocation? If it,
GVL,
no,
just one sec.
what was the provocation? You see,
GVL.
the people of the country are observing. People of the, please let me finish. Let me make the statement. People of the country are saying,
No,
what is the
Rajdeep,
I will let you make a statement,
Rajdeep,
Ajay, after
what
this.
is
This
the
is the
provocation?
RSS BJP
Why
method.
is Aam Aadmi Party
Rajdeep, the RSS BJP doesn't
Please
want
mute the
to
mics of the
that's why
conversation.
this
Intent is
Tata
clearly
Kijay,
political.
all this kind of...
They cannot live without publicity. If that publicity comes by abusing the Prime Minister, they do
Are
not
you
care
willing to
about
give
it.
a commitment
Today,
that no
he wants
minister
to,
will make
Arvind
abusive, will use
Kejriwal wants
abusive
to
language?
represent, Arvind Kejriwal wants to replace Manishankar Iyer.
Okay,
Arvind
that's your point.
Kejriwal wants to
Okay,
replace
okay,
Vijay Singh.
okay. Now
He
I
wants
want,
to listen to
okay,
Hafiz Saeed
you made your point.
and make statements
Sir,
based on
Failure
what
in all
he
front, you want to
believes.
divert attention.
Sir, just a minute. Ajay Kumar, now why don't you answer this?
Rajdeep.
Your leaders have called, just a minute Ajay Kumar. Your leaders have called the Prime Minister when he was fighting the election cockroach frog words. Can you give me a guarantee that this personal language will not be used anymore against the Prime Minister? Can I get a guarantee from you?
Look, Rajdeep, I agree with you that any kind of words such as that will be condemned and should not be used. I would definitely say with very lot of responsibility that any senior Congress leader would not use it. But in case there is something like that, we not only will condemn it, but we'll take action. But the issue is that the BJP and RSS have used this as a strategy to divert attention. They want sloganeering, this country is going down in economy, jobs are not there, black money is not coming, agriculture is down. How do you divert attention? There is Baba Fadnavis, there is Baba Ramdev, and there is Baba in the Prime Minister's cabinet.
Let's leave it. You made your point. You made your point.
Attention.
You made your point. I'm giving you, Ashutosh, 20 seconds. Can you give me a guarantee? I'm asking all of you, can you give me a guarantee, Ashutosh, that no such language will be used after this by the Aam Aadmi Party against the Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister of India and Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao has to give the guarantee that they, from now onward, they will not give a character certificate to the ISI. Because that is insult to the Mother India, that is insult to the Indian soldiers who martyred their life, protecting the country and the sovereignty of the country.
So I haven't got a guarantee. I'm asking you one last time, GVL Narasimha Rao, will you give me a guarantee that none of the ministers of this government will abuse their political rivals or will use social media to make the kind of incendiary remarks that have been made in the past against them? Can you give me that guarantee?
I think nobody in any position in the BJP makes such comments. We have certain culture. We are not uncultured.
Calling journalists prostitutes?
Like some of our opponents are. We certainly believe in maintaining decorum, and we are cultured people, unlike Kejriwal and his league.
Agriculture or culture?
Anyway, I'm going to leave it. Agriculture or culture, I'll leave it to the viewers to decide. It's clear that the discourse in this country has fallen low and none of them are giving me a firm commitment that they will ensure that this doesn't happen again. Ashutosh, GVL Narasimha Rao, Ajay Kumar, I appreciate your joining us on a day when the political discourse appears to have hit a new low. Let me turn...
NIA अफसर के मर्डर से जुड़ी हुई बिजनौर में NIA अफसर मोहम्मद तंजील की हत्या मामले में पुलिस ने मोहम्मद तंजील के दोनों बच्चों के बयान दर्ज कर लिए हैं। बच्चे जब मीडिया के सामने आए
फुटवर्क करेक्ट दिस इज कोहली वेरी मेंटेन दिस दिस इज कोहली वेरी